How to build a lifestyle business by discovering your strengths in business so that you can have a business that you ultimately love. And in this video, you're going to discover something really foundational, something that I think most business programs skip entirely, or all business programs really, I think, skip entirely. But it's something that deeply matters for introverted women, for neurodivergent women, for deeply feeling women. And so we're going to get into that. And also, in a few minutes, I'm going to share an exercise that you can do to identify your strengths quickly, because your strengths, your natural gifts, the things that make you uniquely you, are the things that make you suited to certain types of businesses. And this is how you find your strengths for business. This is how you then eventually go on to discover your purpose in business and how you begin to build a lifestyle business that supports your energy instead of draining your energy. If you've ever tried to start something before and struggled, or maybe stalled, or you just completely shut down and you burnt out, I just want you to know that it's not because you aren't capable and that you weren't capable. It's because that the business model you selected didn't match your wiring or your nervous system or your rhythm or your natural genius. It just didn't match who you are. And so it became very draining. And your business shouldn't require you to become someone else. It should really be built around who you are. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Why do you really need to know yourself before choosing a business model? So let's talk about this first. Entrepreneurship becomes so much easier when you stop trying to fit into someone else's blueprint, someone else's idea of what entrepreneurship is and what a business model is, and instead build a business that works with your natural rhythms and your emotional landscape and your strengths. And I think a lot of the reason why introverts and neurodivergent people are drawn to entrepreneurship is because the corporate world is very taxing for individuals like us. Because we don't quite fit in that box, right? So we don't want to build a business that then ultimately puts us back in that box. We want to make sure that we're building a business that aligns with who we are and that supports our energy. So some of the things that I think a lot of times beginners get wrong is that most of the time beginners choose a business model based on trends or pressure, always looking for what's the best business model to start or what's the best business to start, right? As instead of asking what's the best business for me to start, what are the options out there? Being an introvert or neurodivergent woman, you need deeper alignment. At least that's what I assume anyway. That I know that that's been my experience with it, and why I put all of these videos together, because I have gone through this journey and this process for it's a decade-long process of really discovering, and I don't want that for you. I want to help save you time, and so and not have to go through all of those trials and tribulations that I went through when I just first started out. And so that's why this becomes really important, selecting a business model that fits you. Your strengths determine your sustainability, and your energy determines your consistency. And then your nervous system helps determine your regulation, and your personality helps determine your marketing style. And when these don't match, that's when burnout becomes inevitable, and that's when we end up giving up too soon. We may just be right on the cusp of success, or right on the cusp of getting that really first big sale or first big client or whatever it is. And because if we're doing things in a way that, well-intentioned gurus have taught us, that's still not built with us in mind necessarily, right? So that's why we really have to carve out our own path and ensure that we're starting right from the very beginning in selecting a business model that actually matches our energy first and foremost. And, and there are ways to develop those models and pick one and then kind of make it work for you and your energy style. But we really want to make sure that you're selecting a model that predominantly fits most of the boxes, right? So let's talk about identifying your strengths. Now, some of your strengths as an introvert or a deeply feeling woman may be that you are often quieter but a deeper thinker. You have deeper intuition, deeper emotional intelligence. Perhaps you have sensitivity to alignment. You're able to create meaning out of things when most people don't really understand like what the meaning behind it is or even look for the meaning behind it. Thoughtfulness and depth, right? Being introverted or quiet or deeply feeling often leads to being much more thoughtful and thinking more deeply. Having the ability to listen and hold space for other people. Having a natural creativity. Maybe one of your strengths is pattern recognition or reflective insight. Another one could be having a calming presence or having authentic communication. Or maybe you're someone who deeply cares and has a lot of integrity, and that's really important to you. And these strengths, although you may have some of them, you may have all of them, or maybe there's some other ones that just going through this list brings to mind. These strengths are something that may have been overlooked or undervalued in corporate spaces, but in entrepreneurship and having your own business, they're absolutely your superpowers. They allow you to support others in ways that loud, hustle-driven business owners simply just can't support because they just don't get it. It's just not kind of their wheelhouse, right? So let's talk about your energy rhythms and why they matter in business. So some of the questions that I want to pose to you to explore as you're watching this video are, and you can write these down. You can pause the video and write it down if you would like. But I also want to say that I do have a handout that goes along with this video. So that is in the free course. It's in my free course. If you haven't logged in directly and you're watching this video, make sure you go log in directly to the free course so that way you can download that handout, because that's going to help go hand in hand with this video. It's a little worksheet that I put together for you that kind of runs through a lot of this stuff. So some questions to think about when it comes to business, and not even when it comes to business, just you in general. Question number 1, do you gain energy from deep work or from interaction? Do you prefer structure or flow? Do you need recovery time after socializing? Do you enjoy predictable tasks or do you enjoy creative exploration? Do your best ideas come quietly? What drains you the fastest? What drains your energy the fastest? And what work feels grounding or soothing? And so those are a few questions to reflect upon and think about. And, you don't have to think about it within the context of business, just in general. Reflect on those, write down your answers, and then it's going to build. This is going to build in the next video. We're going to build upon this. So these patterns aren't random, right? So whatever you've come up with to those answers to those questions, they're not random, they're clues. They're showing you the type of business that can support your nervous system rather than overwhelm it. So let's talk about, just briefly, finding purpose in business, because maybe that is a secondary thing that you want to do. Maybe right now you're just looking to get started and you're not as worried about this, but I'll tell you they go hand in hand. They can very much go hand in hand. And this could be an entire course in and of itself. But something to know and think about here is that purpose in business isn't forced, right? Purpose in life isn't forced. Purpose isn't always loud or dramatic. It comes and it emerges from your strengths, your lived experience, and what you're naturally drawn to. So a bit of a formula you can think about here is that your strengths plus what you care about plus who you want to help gives you your purpose. So particularly in the context of business, that'll give you your business purpose, right? What are your strengths? What do you care about? And then who do you want to help? And how do you want to help them? Your purpose really becomes clear when you allow yourself to move toward the feelings that feel emotionally meaningful, creatively energizing, or naturally aligned. And you don't need to chase your purpose. You can let it reveal itself as you discover what comes easily and what feels right. So that's why, just starting out, you may not know it yet, and that's okay. It may be as you're exploring this business model or what business model you want to do, it comes to you. Or maybe as you're getting into your business, you discover it, and then you start to pivot and you reorganize your business, or you start to change it a little bit to fit that. So how strengths lead to a lifestyle business. I'm going to give you a little bit of a definition for what a lifestyle business is, right? Because maybe you came across this video and it sounded good, but you don't really know what it is. So like it kind of is self-explanatory in a way, but sometimes we just want some solid concrete definition. So a lifestyle business is one that you design around your energy, your values, and your life. It's not a business that demands you to sacrifice your well-being. It doesn't demand that you burn out, right, to keep it going. It may require you to do things that you don't enjoy as much, right? Because there are just some aspects in business where that's going to happen. But in general, the idea behind a lifestyle business is that it's something that you really love, and it works with your lifestyle, not against it. And it works with your energy, not against it. So why your strengths matter here. A lifestyle business really must match your rhythm. Your strengths make your business feel sustainable, and your natural preferences become your business structure. Also, your energy flow becomes your schedule. So when you understand your strengths, you automatically unlock the blueprint for business that fits your life instead of a business that takes over your life. Now, let's talk about discovering your natural genius. Your natural genius is the heart of your business. It is when your business uses your gifts, that's when it really becomes joyful and sustainable and aligned. And that's why this is super important to do this work first before you even pick what sort of business model you're going to go after. Because if you want a business that works for you, you want a business that fits you, this is really the key differentiator, is figuring this stuff out beforehand, right? So some things to think about in terms of your natural genius. Your natural genius is the thing that you do without thinking. It's the work that feels easy for you, even when it's hard for others. And this one can be really hard because it's like, if you're anything like me, I often have the thought of like, well, of course it's easy. It's easy for everybody, right? But it's not. Just because it's easy for you doesn't mean that it's easy for everybody else. And those are the things that we often overlook in terms of our natural gifts and our strengths, our genius. Your natural genius is also topics that you always like to research. They're skills that people come to you for. They are tasks that make you lose track of time. So recognizing what some of those things are. What are those tasks where you lose track of time? There are also things that you've quietly mastered. And they're gifts that you may not realize you even had. Like I said a moment ago, right? Like it's just something that comes naturally to you and you feel like everybody does it or everybody knows it because it's just so easy. So how could they not? But, that's not necessarily the case. So a couple examples of these would be organizing information. Maybe you have a natural genius at organizing information. Maybe you have a natural genius at explaining things in simple ways. Or maybe you have a natural genius at creative writing or designing or holding a supportive space or creating calming systems for people. Or maybe it's deep problem solving or product enthusiasm. If people are coming to you a lot for recommendations, maybe it's thought leadership. People like talking to you about what your thoughts are around things. Or maybe it's crafting or making something with your hands. So just take a little bit. Pause this video if you need to, but take a little bit and think about what some of those things are. So I'm going to run through a little bit of a gentle self-honesty exercise. This is completely judgment-free. This is not meant for you to judge what is you're not doing right? All it is something for you to think about, like what are your gifts? What does come more naturally to you? And this is really important because before we move into choosing a business model, it's really important to complete this. It's going to help you with setting boundaries. It's going to help you with clarity, and it's going to help with designing a business that actually fits your life. So, like I said, there is a handout that I have. If you want to go grab that, make sure that you log in to my free course directly, and you can find the link that it should be below this video to go in and grab that. If for some reason you haven't actually signed up, you can sign up, but you can go to that link and log in, and then go to this video, or go to the video or what do I want to say? Go to video 3 and you can grab the resource there. So I'm going to run through some of the questions in there, and I'm going to do these fairly quickly just to try and keep this relatively brief because there are a lot in here, and that's where I really highly recommend you go and grab that resource. So I invite you to write down the answers as we go. But think about, what am I naturally good at? What are you naturally good at? Skills, traits, natural abilities, lived experiences. What are you not good at? What would you need to develop skills for? What do you genuinely enjoy doing? What don't you enjoy doing? Let me back up. So I'll rephrase it in I. What do I genuinely enjoy doing? Even if it doesn't feel businessy, what are those skills? Or what are those things? What do I not enjoy doing? This doesn't mean that you can't do it, right? Just notice it. It's just not one of your favorite things to do. What am I willing to do even if I don't love it? Is that short-term discomfort that you're looking for in order to get those long-term goals? What is that short-term discomfort that you're okay with? And then what am I willing to do? What am I not willing to do at all? I have notes because I don't want to forget anything. Sometimes I will get my it's like my brain glitches, and so I want to make sure I have notes in front of me because I want to make sure I get all of this to you. So in the what am I not willing to do at all question, this is a boundary, okay? And boundaries protect your sustainability and they protect your energy. I want you to really be honest here because it's going to save you years of frustration, and I'm not kidding. Like, it really will save years of frustration because you're not going to be trying to fit yourself into, you know, a round hole, square peg, round hole situation. So it's really important to be honest here. There is no right answer. There's just your answer. Let's talk about time and reality, or time and energy reality check. So some things to think about here is, how much time am I realistically willing or able to spend on my business per day or per week? How much time would that be? You want to be realistic here, not aspirational, okay? And then, what season of life am I currently in? High capacity, like lots of energy, medium capacity, being able to be consistent, and then low capacity where it's just, not having a whole lot of time or a whole lot of additional energy to put into this. Your capacity right now really matters. You can build a business in small, calm steps. You just want to make sure you have realistic expectations about how much time that is going to take and how much time, effort and time you can put into it. Let's talk about investment boundaries. So think about with investment boundaries, okay? This is like, how much money and time are you willing to invest in yourself? So one question, how much am I willing to invest in myself? How much are you willing to invest in education, in courses, in coaching, or skill building? This is outside of the working in your business, okay? Because it's going to be contributing to your business, but it's separate from that. How much am I willing to invest in my business? How much can you afford to invest in technology platforms, websites, or technology systems rather, websites or platforms, marketing and traffic, email or automation tools, legal formation, like putting your business together, accounting services, that sort of thing. You don't need all of these at once, okay? But they are things to keep in mind. And you want to have an idea as to how much you can really afford to spend on them comfortably until you start to see a profit. What's going to feel, doable for you. Another thing would be investment tolerance. And so the question for that is, how long can I work without seeing results before feeling discouraged? And this is where it really is important, where that business does feel aligned, because it's going to help you get through those discouraging moments. And then an emotional investment tolerance. How much uncertainty can I handle? How much rejection or learning curve feels manageable? Those are two to really think about, because they prevent from choosing a model that feels misaligned emotionally. Now, this exercise isn't meant to limit you. It's really meant to protect you, because when you know your strengths, your boundaries, your time, and investment comfort, choosing a business model becomes a much calmer and clearer decision, or much calmer and clearer effort, right? It becomes much easier to do. And like I said, if you haven't logged into the course directly, make sure you do go and grab that resource so you can write all this stuff down on that worksheet. And so you have it there in front of you. And then in the next video, we'll use everything that you discovered here to help you narrow down and choose a business model that truly fits your life. So we talked about business models a little bit in the previous video. Now we're going to dive in deeper, and we're going to match your energy with the right business model, and we're going to discover a little bit more about each one. So with that, I will see you in the next video. I'm hoping you now have clarity on your strengths, your energy rhythms, and your natural genius, and how these pieces quietly point toward your purpose and your business model. In the next video, we're going to bring it all together. So you'll learn how to choose the business model that aligns to your strengths and supports your nervous system, and how one that's really going to help you build a lifestyle business that truly fits your life. You're doing beautifully. I will see you in the next video.